Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody. We had the funniest thing just now. We were all set up at the cabana, beautiful sunshine. We're going to ring in the summer, and then no internet.
We're drinking wine,
We're
taking our
drinking
time.
wine, we have our pizza, and so we had to run and bring all of our stuff in here, and it was hilarious. Plates did break, pizza did drop, and but here we are.
But we're here. We're
Okay,
here.
so
We're here in the living room.
welcome. Happy Friday. We're kicking off Memorial Day. We just made an incredible pizza, and we're going to share that with you. Here's looking at you.
We're toasting all of you.
We're toasting each and every one of you that you may stay safe, healthy, happy, your families, and that you thrive after the coronavirus.
Yeah!
Woo-hoo!
That's a good one. I'll toast anything.
Right? Okay, so look, we have to start with this. This olive oil, right? It comes from a place in Italy called Puglia. Well, you should say it.
La Puglia.
Yeah, she
La
said
Puglia.
it sounds so much
Which
better.
is a region where my mother is from. And this is the rest of the olive oil that we brought home from Altamura, which is the town where she's from, in Puglia.
Oh my God. So what we did, I'm going to show you. What we did is we made a olive oil dip. Can you see it? Can they see it?
They can.
Antoinette's
can you see
going
it?
to read any questions.
I'm going to put my granddaddy glasses on. I definitely would love to take questions for Trish and her food preparation. So if I see something good, I'm going to tell her.
Yeah, so this dip has olive oil, garlic, rosemary, basil, oregano. What else did we put in there?
Chili pepper.
Chili pepper.
Of course.
And fresh garlic. Did I say that already?
You did.
And I got to tell you, it's literally to die for.
Like, it's
maybe one of my
crazy.
favorite things on the planet. Oh my God.
Can I have some?
Oh, yeah, you can have it. I'll share.
Excuse me. Moment.
But you know what I want to say? It's funny we're talking about, Antoinette could see the questions with her glasses on, and I can't. My mother, she's 82. She had to go get her driving license renewed.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, Trish, I had to go get an eye test. Had to get my eyes checked so that I could, get renewed. And I was reading the chart, and the lady said, could you please read this again? She read the two bottom lines, and the lady goes, 3 times. Please read it again. And the mother's like, what's going on? You know what she said? Ma'am, I don't understand. You're 82 and you have 20/20 vision.
And that has everything to do with the Italian cuisine,
Well,
doesn't it?
all the olive oil, I guess. So, what I want to show you guys
Guys, send any questions you
is the
have.
pizza we made. All right? We did half pepperoni and half plain. When the dish fell outside, half of the
Which is still sitting there. I was like, leave it, we'll do it later.
so half of the pizza is destroyed, which is great.
Yeah, totally.
The grass is eating it right now.
I actually have a question for you that I was kind of holding on to ask you. So when you were growing up, is it that your mother inspired your cooking? Did your dad inspire your cooking? Or did it come from somewhere else?
That's a great question. A lot of people ask me that. And as a little girl, my mom literally cooked every single day in that kitchen. And she was the best cook in the whole world. I was the luckiest kid ever. And I would go to other people's house, or I would go to school, and I couldn't eat the cafeteria food. I was so spoiled. Nothing came out of a can. Everything was fresh. Everything
Like you get sausage and peppers hero to go to lunch, to go to school with lunch.
Oh my God!
That's me too.
But
Me
then
too.
my dad kind of I think he was a bit jealous, and he started cooking. He actually went to cooking classes, cooking school, and then he wound up opening eight restaurants: Italian, Mexican,
there you go,
seafood. So I had cooking on both sides, and I'm so grateful for that because. And they were funny though. They were they didn't want to share their secrets.
My mother was the same way.
And that's
Crazy,
why
right?
I would sneak and what I did and what I do is I'll see a recipe and then I Trishify it. That's what I do. So I will take whatever, my gravy. it has a little bit of mom, a little bit of dad, but then I Trishified it to make it mine.
Will you share?
I share. Some of the, I didn't put all the secrets in there.
I always think about some of the dishes that you make, and I'm like, I've never had this before. I mean, I've had this dish before, but I've never, had it like this. And that's the Trishify component, I think. Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
So growing up, what was your favorite pizzeria?
Oh, that's a good question. That's an interesting question, actually, because it depends on if it's Italian pizza or is it Brooklyn pizza? Because really those are two different things.
Yeah.
In a way, they are very, very different. So
Tell
the
me.
Neapolitan pizza
Yeah.
is where, I guess Naples is where, Napoli is where the pizza began. And the Italians eat it in one small pie, and they eat it with a fork and a knife. And that's how I grew up in Italy eating it. But then, almost as good is Brooklyn pizza, because it's a whole different thing. So I would say in Naples is the best pizza I've ever had, capricciosa, with artichoke and prosciutto, and that's called capricciosa, which means
You love
capricious.
this accent? I'm just like,
I woke up this morning feeling so Italian. I was like, I even put my hoop
you
earrings
are
on.
so Italian.
Oh, that's right, that's
right.
right. I was like, oh, we're having gravy today.
I'm half Irish, but I'm still Italian. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny, you look Irish, but your essence is Italian.
But when I go to Italy, everybody starts speaking to me in Italian. My
You're
mom
like
is
the redheaded Italian.
But my mom is an Italian redhead with green eyes, and her
Yes.
father was red. And then my father's mother and all those relatives. I got it on both. I was doomed. I
And
got
actually,
it on both
you
sides.
all your siblings.
No.
I mean,
No, there's
Kat
six.
is
There's
blonde.
6 of us, and
Yeah?
no, Kat was
Half and half?
blonde, Jimmy was blonde,
okay.
Charlie's
nobody's
red, John and Joe got like strawberry
Yeah,
blonde.
yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so you got
Okay,
got
wait. So
Brooklyn-
the Brooklyn Pizza it was called Pizza Wagon, and it was on 18th Avenue and 86th Street. I think I have that right. And they would have the square slices, and every day after school, I would go get a slice of that, and that was just like heaven. And it's so different. It's
Yeah.
two different pizzas.
Well, okay, so I gotta tell you mine because this is
You
such
tell
a
me
memory.
yours.
This is such a
I feel
memory.
like I'm like 10 years old when I'm with her. It's the stupidest thing. I'm like a grown ass woman, and I turn into like a 10-year-old.
It's good, right?
It is good. It is good. It's
Okay,
so true.
So when I was little, in Queens, I used to run off. Like if I was depressed or sad, my sister and I would go, let's go to Jenny's. Jenny's Pizzeria.
Make everything okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steinway Street, Jenny. I mean, Jenny was like sounded like Antoinette, but she couldn't speak, English well. But she would come in, she would know us, and she would get the slice. We always liked it well done on the bottom, fresh garlic. And then when you fold the pizza, right, this oil would drip off like through the crack. And I just remember that, like that pizza. And that would always make me happy. So that was like my childhood Queens. But then, as I got a little older, and then, we had businesses in Manhattan, restaurants, I would go down to John's Pizzeria, Brick Oven. And that is on Bleecker
Street. Is it still there?
It's still there.
Because I know during Sandy it got...
No, it did. It got
Is it
destroyed.
open?
But then I took my parents there, like, I think 2 times ago. It's like a joke. Like, my dad would pick me up at the airport and I'd go, let's go to John's.
And you would wait. It didn't matter. Like every other place you wait, you had to wait, you would not see. It was like, 15 minutes, I'm not waiting. John's Pizza, you would wait 2 hours to get a table. And sometimes you would have to.
And
right?
And you know why?
Why?
The pizza's incredible, yes. But there's something about sitting in there.
Yeah.
And you see,
and the brick ovens.
everybody that you know,
Yep.
every movie star, Tony Bennett, Frank Sinatra, all their pictures are on, they all go to John's.
Yeah.
And you might just see, well, they're dead, but you might see other people there.
Or feel their spirit.
No, yeah, you do, and you feel it, and they have this jukebox. Oh my God, the jukebox.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I miss jukeboxes.
I know. They used to have them on the tables in the diners in Brooklyn. They probably still do. I haven't been to one, but they put the little small jukeboxes on the tables.
I don't know, since all the, technology,
know.
like, those were the things that were like, I want to get in my house. I want to get a jukebox where I could go and flip through.
the song.
Yeah. You flip through, right? And then you're hearing it. It's like
It sounds better.
Even though it's like staticky and everything, it sounds like more like special.
It does. What is the thing in the middle of the
disc?
What is that thing in the
That
middle?
little round yellow.
Do you guys are
disc?
probably all too young, but maybe
You
not.
might-
But like that little thing when you had a 45, you would stick the thing in. I was trying.
It was
to
called. It was called.
It's the
Let's
thing.
see. Maybe somebody knows.
Does
what
somebody
it's
know
called.
the name
What is the name of the
thing that you
yellow?
would put in the 45? We were yelling on top of each other. The 45 and a 45 record, you would put that thing so that you could put it on the Victrola. Was it called the Victrola or was it
My mom.
turntable?
Victrola is what we used to call it.
It's
My mom. Yeah.
That's like a Victrola. It's like the old thing with the thing. Oh God.
We used to
I'm
do
gonna put on my glasses. If you guys have any questions, because we want to hear from you.
And yeah, and you know,
I want to hear from you.
Remember, this has been Italian week for me. It's going to probably spread into the following week because we have like more dishes to make. You know what I mean?
Sofia Rosa.
Sophia Rosa. Oh yeah, I see
I
her
love
all the
Sofia
time.
Rosa.
Beautiful name, Sophia
I
Rosa.
love, and Santos Marcel Santos. Hi Marcel.
Well, listen, it doesn't even matter what that little yellow thing is called.
It doesn't matter.
We're going to move on from that.
I've forgotten already.
Well, wait, how do you like your pizza?
First of all, this pizza is amazing.
And by the way, we're going to post on Dish with Trish the making of the pizza. But, you know, that was just like a little too much to like do live.
We were scrambling a little bit.
We were like having fun.
There's too many components.
Yeah. And, you know, I was like throwing up the dough like an old Italian man. And
She was like, a pizza. I was in my pajamas. I come out. She's like doing this with the pizza.
yeah.
That is the best. That I love seeing. Like in New York, when you walk into the pizzeria, they're spinning it and they're doing that. And it's just like, there's something to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do it.
Yeah. You know, I love New Yorkers who come to LA and they're like, you can't find good Italian food here.
Yeah, but come to Dish with Trish.
Can't find good pizza. Right?
This is like so good. You guys, I feel rude because, you know, Italians don't like to eat in front of each other if you don't have enough for everybody. But I'm just telling you, this
We
is
have
so... We do. We always do. So savory and so beautiful and so tasty. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome. There's a saying, though, that I always like to say because sometimes I'm stuck in the kitchen and everybody's waiting for me to, like, sit. And I'm more addicted. I think... I'm going to be honest.
Please.
Okay.
Okay, wow. Are we having a moment?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
wow.
but I mean,
Okay.
cooking for me, I feel like this is like something I'm born to do, but it's not just about like the technical side of it. It's like, I love so much to like think about who's coming and I'm like when I'm touching the food and I try to put little spells in the food. But my favorite room in the house is the kitchen because and if I'm depressed or sad or stressed and I go cook, it calms me down.
It's a gift that you have. It makes me emotional. You imbue and infuse the food with just a feeling of goodness and well-being. I know it sounds a little crazy, but that's actually true. When you cook and you prepare your dishes and your recipes that you've Trishified, they taste better than the original, and they taste more because you have this sense of health about you. Like you're one of the people like if something's going on in my body or something doesn't feel right, I'm like, Trish, you got a minute? I gotta talk to you. And then she'll say to me, you know what, baby? You need to do this or try this. And so she cooks with all of that knowledge, all of that wealth of knowledge, that wellspring of knowledge, and you put it in your food and you can taste that. So
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. I mean, I love you if you didn't do that.
No, well, thank you. But I mean, that's what our goal is with Dish with Trish. It's about conscious cooking, you know, bringing consciousness into the kitchen and really making it fun for you guys. What I'm trying to do is to show you, you don't have to be stressed about cooking. It should be like you look forward to it and it's fun. And like, I like to say to everybody, don't put any pressure on like the outcome of your dish. It should be more
important.
I mean, it should be more about like, you know, the process for you. And like, sometimes I used to call it the poor girl's pasta. And I would go into the fridge and I would just see what was left. Maybe it was like a carrot and an onion and like a weird zucchini.
I love that, especially during this fucking pandemic.
Yeah, and then like, you know, you have the pasta that's like 39 cents and then you're like, oh my God, there's a tomato here. And then you just start playing. And it's about being creative and not feeling like you have to perform. Right. And that's what I'm trying to show you guys when I do my videos is that I'm having so much fun every time I'm in the kitchen, you know?
It's an important thing you just said because I feel like it's poetry in motion. I put a lot of pressure on myself You know, when I'm going to cook, because my mother was an amazing cook and I was surrounded by, but I was always out and like a tomboy. And, you know, it just was like, I wasn't in the kitchen very much, you know? And so when I met Trish, the way, like, it was just like the party started while she was cooking. It didn't start when the meal went on the table.
The kitchen party.
The kitchen party, yeah. And I love that. I love that. And so, like, that's been a really big help for me. And I've learned a lot from you about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. It's really great. It's really great.
Well, I mean, I feel like cooking heals people. I remember one time Antoinette was having a really hard time, and she came to my house, and it was early in the morning. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
And she was so stressed out and just having a devastating time. And I literally did these 2 eggs with this Mexican kind of thing that I had made up. It was like a Mexican herbs. And I just poached them like just right and then put them over like a toast. And she bit into it, and like her face was a gift to me. Because when I saw her face, like it made me feel like, oh, I just gave her some love and she received it.
I think I started crying.
You did, actually. You said, I'll
Like,
never recapture these eggs.
Like, I remember exactly what they looked like. They had fresh herbs on them. And it was just so like, it was like I felt like blessed to be a human being at that time because I could actually taste. It sounds so dramatic, I know. I want to present you with a rose.
Oh,
This is a rose for Trishy, who brings so much happiness and sensuality and joy and upliftment to everybody that you touch.
Thank you, baby. Is this from your garden?
It is. I just picked a grapevine. From my grapevine. I actually was sad to pick it, but then I thought, you know, the gardener will probably pick that off. So I did that, and I have some rosemary. Yeah, I love you, baby.
I love you, baby.
I wish we could see some questions because I see a lot of them floating by.
Well, you know, I wanted to, tell you, did I ever tell you that story about my mother flying back on the plane and she sat next to this guy? And
his name is Namer. Is it Larry Namer?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wait! I heard that story. Larry Namer, who's the guy who created Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah, he created
or Entertainment Television.
Yeah, he created. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the story.
No.
Your mother would sit next to Larry Namer on the plane.
Well, it was funny because Larry, if you know Larry, he's a big deal, and he kept getting bumped off all these flights, and he wound up having to sit next to my mother, and she was leaving me from LA to New York.
Which is why he probably got bumped off the flights, so the angels made sure that
this is an angel story.
Yeah.
And my mother's terrified to fly. It was like a big deal for her. So I put her on the plane, and she was like, oh, I'm so sad to go, and I'm terrified. I was like, okay. So she finds Larry, and she sits next to him.
But she doesn't know it's him.
No, she's just like, can I hold your arm while we take off because I'm so scared? And he's like, feel sorry. And he's like, sure, okay. And he hears her New York accent, and he's like, where are you from? And she's like, I'm from New York. He goes, me too. I'm from Brooklyn. No. They start talking, and next thing you know, they're like this. And he says, you know, I haven't been able to have a good Italian meal since I came to LA. And he's from Brooklyn, and I miss the chicken parmesan. So she goes, my daughter, Trish, is going to make you Italian.
Oh!
That was good.
Wine on the table is, what is it? Good luck.
Really?
Yes.
Did you
Wine
see what
on
just
the
happened?
table. I was reaching for it, but not even reaching for it.
That was the craziest thing.
Look at that.
I was watching it float in midair, and she
I feel
caught
like
it.
I should make the sign of the cross. I don't even know why.
I know. I'm making it with you. Anyway, maybe we're talking about Larry. So, Larry, if you're watching, I love you. So she winds up getting comfort from this man, and she's like, I'm gonna have my daughter cook for you. And he's like, yeah, right, lady, don't worry. Listen, no, he couldn't believe that someone was actually gonna cook from meeting their mother on a plane. Anyway, I call him up, and he's like, I can't believe you're calling me. I said, yeah, my mom said, I don't even know who you are. I said, but I have to make you Italian food, and you are an angel to her on the plane.
Oh my God, what a beautiful story.
Yeah, so I wind up cooking for this guy, have no idea like that he's created the
She has no idea who he is.
And he comes in, and he's like, Antoinette said, he got all emotional and nostalgic, and he couldn't believe that finally he found food like he grew up with. And so we've become dear friends, and we stay friends. And then he wound up writing a story about me in the New York
New York Times. Yeah.
So, hey, here's to you, Larry.
Larry! Yo, Larry!
If you're watching. But I love Larry. And by the way, he's an amazing cook. And he
that's
actually...
the kind of stuff that happens.
He does great Chinese food.
Really?
Yeah.
Which is not easy to do.
No. My dad, though, growing up, my dad had this wok that, like, we would make a joke that it was like a baby bathtub. And he would cook Chinese food for the whole block. Like the best authentic
I
Italian.
love that. Like
Chinese
stir fry and stuff like that. I
Oh
should
my
learn how
God.
to do that.
Shrimp.
Do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could do a stir fry.
Well, let's do a
night.
stir fry
We should
night.
do like a stir fry Chinese cooking class.
Yeah, and we'll do it in the cabana next time.
Oh my God, the cabana,
Oh my
you
God.
guys.
You guys, like 2 minutes before we went live, we were sitting in the
Oh
cabana
my
going,
God.
oh my God. And then all of a sudden there was no internet connection. Bolts to the living room.
I'm like holding everything.
Because you know
carrying
that
it.
I would have something back here, right? We would have something back here.
Well, we had
We had a whole thing set up.
We had a perfect setup, and you know, God had other plans. And if you would have seen us,
And it's better lighting in here,
and
obviously.
yes, but you know what the funniest thing is? She says to me, "Listen, these are my vintage dishes.
I know.
Let's put the pizza on the nice."
I was like this, like presenting
dishes.
them. These are my vintage. They're actually Star Trek, like Jetson dishes from the 1950s. Well,
And I was like, "Wow,
I have
these are
one
really
less
special."
now. And off it flew.
I was like, "These are really special and precious." And then what did I do? Walking out here, I broke it.
But you know what? Italians think everything that happens
good luck.
is good luck.
It's
right?
suspicion.
So I just think, you know what?
We're
It's good luck. I'll always
superstitious
remember that you
about
broke one of them.
everything. I'm having a bite of pizza. If you have pizza, have a bite.
Yes.
Because we've been like,
Okay, I'm gonna have a bite
yeah,
too.
Here.
I'm going to put on my glasses and attempt to read.
I come to read.
Attempt to read. Here.
Let's see. My mother.
I'm
put
having
in-
lunch with you. What's the first dish you trishify? I got a question.
Mhm. The first dish I
Oh,
crucified.
I know the answer.
You do?
I do.
Go on.
Sex olives?
Sex olives.
Sex olives. I didn't know if I was to talk about that. Have you done you haven't done an episode on that yet?
So Bonnie and I made the sex olives on the video, and but we haven't done a current sex olive. But
Right, you just made me remember that. So the original, like way back, that's when she did it. Okay, I remember.
yeah,
that.
we did it. Lana
Yeah,
and
but
I
you
did
have
it.
to teach everybody. She makes this sex olives that I don't even know what to tell you. They make you feel, you know, randy.
Ooh. You know what's so funny? I would have, well, Antoinette knows. We would do like massive dinner parties all the time. And couples would say, "Oh, I'm in a fight with him or I'm in a fight with her." I would say, come over and we'll work it out. And I would make the sex olives and they would call me and they would go, "I don't know what the hell you did with those olives last night,
But they were awfully chummy when they left.
people would make up. People would be like, you know, I don't know why I want to touch you. I don't know. So that's like a fun part of food too, is that you can actually
Use certain spices.
I feel like there's things that you could infuse in the food, and there's no way that the recipient won't energetically get what you're giving them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
for another question.
I'm gonna. Oh, go on.
Oh, one is in Brazilian. I don't speak Portuguese. My grandfather has his own pizza shop.
Oh.
It's tiny and a small business in Pittsburgh. So very good. What's the name of it?
Yeah,
We'll
tell us
plug
the
it.
name. We'll plug it. What's the name of the pizzeria?
Dana! That's my girl!
Dana, yo.
Lots of love from Russia. Let's give a
love-
big kiss.
We're giving Russian
Russian
kisses,
kisses.
Italy
Russia
kiss,
in the house.
France,
Haha comedy.
Ireland.
I just saw Haha comedy. They're my peeps.
Haha comedy.
Yep.
Yo, haha comedy.
I look like my Uncle Ralph with these glasses. I
Uncle
look like I have
Ralph?
a fake nose and glasses on.
I never met Uncle Ralph.
Uncle Ralph?
Is he Italian?
Yeah, of course.
I'm only kidding.
Uncle Ralph Cotillo.
I'm
Are you
taking
kidding?
another bite of this dip.
Are you
because,
kidding? Let me see.
Oh my God.
Machu Picchu. Te espera.
This is like Beethoven orchestrating a symphony in my mouth. I swear to God. You guys have to try this dip. I mean, this olive oil.
Trish, cook for me. Phil wants you to cook for him.
Phil, where do you live?
Phil, yo.
Where are you?
Skaz Fosina. You guys are amazing. We love you. We love you and honor you.
We
Thank
love
you
you.
for tuning in. I wish that we could share all this food, but you can make it now that Trish has showed you how. So that's the good news.
And we know Memorial Day is coming up, and we wanted to kick off the summer. And we also want to honor all the men and women who have fought for us and
I'm a
Bristol.
child, sorry.
You what?
You were doing something heavy and I was listening to somebody say something stupid.
No, but really, for Memorial Day, I just was like, I was thinking about all the men and women who sacrificed their lives to keep
Every
us
day.
safe.
Every
and
day.
I just want to honor them all. And here's to them and their
Here's
families.
to all the courageous people who do amazing things with their lives to protect us and keep
Heroes.
us. Yeah.
Heroes.
People on the front lines.
I salute you all.
Yeah. What a beautiful Friday. Thank you.
Yeah, what a beautiful Friday. And we're going to be doing like different kind of happy hours with Antoinette. It'll always be about different things.
Yeah.
But,
From different locations.
This was when my producer and I were like talking about Italian week.
Can you give your producer a little shout out?
Paula Brown.
Paula Brown in the house.
Paula Brown's in the house.
We love you,
She's
Paula.
the best. But who else would we think of? I mean, this is
For
like
happy hour.
I'm
always happy.
when
I'm
she-
always happy unless I'm devastated.
But a lot of times she'll talk in Italian to me. When I was writing my book, The Singing Gardener,
That was so cool. She was writing this novel that really everybody should get. The Singing Gardener, it's called. Anyway,
Thank you.
it's such a beautiful, one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. Anyway, but she used me to kind of translate, because translating in Italian is a very specific thing.
Yes, and it all takes place in Italy in the 1950s. And although my mom speaks fluent Italian, she speaks, I don't know if you'll get what I'm about to say, but she speaks dialect.
Right.
Neapolitan dialect. So it's different than proper Italian. So I had to come to Antoinette because she speaks proper Italian.
I Antoinified it.
Yeah. And we have an interesting thing, right? So Antoinette's mom and my mom, they've met. They love each other, of course.
Oh my God.
But when we met, the craziest thing is both of our mom's favorite song is the same song.
Which is the song that my mom was singing in the video that I posted of her. Parlami d'amore, Mariu, tutta la mia vita sei tu. I'm turning into my mother.
It's
such a beautiful old,
oh my God,
old song, and
it's in the
they
book.
would like,
It's in-
and it's in the book.
Yeah, and that's
I know,
why,
it's so
because
strange.
I said to Maria, her mom, I said, I want to put my mama's favorite song in here, and when I said it, she said, that's my favorite song.
And then we started singing.
And then we started singing.
And I was like, we gotta go, wrap it up.
And the best part is, okay, you'll love this. One year, it was my mom's 80th birthday, and maybe I was with her for that birthday. It was a birthday that I couldn't be there, so I hired a singer in New York to go to her house, knock on the door, and then they started singing the song, and she sobbed. And by the way, my friend was there videotaping her reaction. She had no idea what was happening. She had no idea that I did that.
So beautiful.
And he was singing like a true Italian singer. How do you pronounce the song if people want to look it up? It's so beautiful. It's
I
romantic.
believe the whole name of the song is Parlami d'amore, Mariu.
Yeah.
And Mariu is a slang for Maria. So instead of saying Maria, I say Mariu. And I believe, not sure, but I believe it's Neapolitan. And then from Napoli. It could be.
It must be
it could
because
be
my mom.
Calabrese.
Yeah,
right?
I think it is because my mom.
And it's old. It's one of
Yeah.
the oldest songs, probably from the 30s, 1930s. And my mother sings it so beautifully. And that was a very special moment when they were singing together.
No,
It really
I know.
was.
I mean, and that was one of the reasons I named the lead character Maria, because I had a lot of Italian people who were saying that was the name at that time that has songs written about them. So I actually named the lead
Right.
character that.
Right, and
in
the
my
classic.
book.
It's my mother's name, Maria.
Yeah.
And my sister's name. But, it's making me think of when our mothers met, there was such a connection right away.
Like us.
Like us. That's exactly what I was thinking. When we first met each other, it's like there's just certain people that you meet that you remember everything about when you first met them. Like I remember everything about what she was wearing.
I
was like, who's this? She had on these like ska overalls that are like they were like 19. I think it was like 1992 or 91. It's a long time ago. But she was wearing that, and she was so like effervescent and like the coolest film director. And at that time I had worked with, a few really big directors. And when I worked with her and she worked with me, I was just like, who is this? Like, who are you? Like somebody who speaks directly to your heart and your soul and pulls out that best performance. I think that you pull out the best. She pulls out the best in everybody.
Aww.
You pull out the best. And that's
you.
beautiful. That's a gift.
Aw.
And then you do it with your food, but you do it with everything.
Well, you know, I believe that
Look, my hoop earring popped off.
that's a good life
Things
sign.
are- that's good.
No, but I
Good
believe
luck.
that I try to see the best in everyone. Like, you know, some people like look at people and they're like, oh, they have this, they have that. I'm always looking for the best in you.
Yeah.
Because I even in the worst person we could find a kernel of good.
Right.
And in the best person we could find bad too. So
Right.
I always just say, you know, what's great about this person? That's what I want to explore.
Right, and it also makes you feel better because it raises your energy when you're looking at the good rather than pulling out the bad. Because really, if you think about it, if you look at the good in people, then you're looking at the good in yourself.
Absolutely, they're a mirror.
Right? And if
Yeah.
you're pulling out the bad, then you're probably being super critical of yourself, which is never that helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have a little therapy session. You get it all here, folks.
Well, you know what I always like to say? I used to make this as one of my toasts. I would say, here's a toast to all of our imperfections because they are what makes us perfect.
That's what makes us human.
Yeah.
And being human is about learning, not about being perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to drink to.
And on that note, I've just finished my wine, so I don't know. Maybe it's time to
Wrap it up. You guys
Wrap
are
it
all
up.
perfect, just
We
the way
love
you
you.
are. We love you. Thank you for
absolutely
tuning
love
in.
you. Thank you for tuning in.
And we ask Instagram to make the print larger so we can actually read the question. Now we need bifocals.
Have a beautiful and safe holiday, everybody. Mwah.
Mwah.
All right.
Hey.
And now.